In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 MLB games happening on October 1st, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Tigers versus Cleveland Guardians. On Wednesday night, the Detroit Tigers will return to Progressive Field to take on the Cleveland Guardians in Game 2 of the American League Wild Card round. This contest not only continues their heated division rivalry but also carries major postseason implications as the Tigers seek to build on the momentum gained from their narrow victory in the opening game of the series. Progressive Field is expected to be electric with fans who know what is at stake, and both clubs will be throwing some of their best pitching talent onto the mound to try and gain the upper hand. Coming off a dramatic finish in Game 1, Detroit enters Game 2 with the chance to close out the series and move forward in the postseason, something that would mark a significant step for a team many had doubted earlier in the year. The Tigers are set to give the ball to Casey Mize, who has put together a solid campaign with a 14-6 record and a 3.87 earned run average across the season. He has been especially effective when facing Cleveland, holding them to minimal production in 3 separate outings this year, where he recorded a 1-0 mark and a sparkling 2.08 earned run average. On the other side, the Guardians will counter with Tanner Bibee, who enters with a 12-11 record and a 4.24 earned run average. Although those season-long statistics might look modest at first glance, Bibee has been exceptional whenever he has faced Detroit, going a perfect 3-0 with a microscopic 0.95 earned run average in 3 prior meetings. Cleveland's late-season surge that lifted them to a division crown has been fueled by that pitching depth and an offense that has found its rhythm, producing an average of 4.4 runs per contest over the past 10 games. Detroit, however, cannot ignore its own offensive shortcomings, which have been glaring in recent weeks. Over their last 10 games, the Tigers have managed just 2.5 runs per outing, a concerning trend heading into another duel against a pitcher who has repeatedly silenced their bats. Cleveland's combination of timely hitting and reliable pitching carried them all the way back to the top of the American League Central standings, and there is little reason to think they will back down now. With Bibee on the mound at home, the Guardians have a clear path to even the series and force a decisive Game 3. Expect him to establish command early and keep Detroit's hitters guessing throughout the night. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians money line is our full game side pick. Trends from the season suggest this matchup is also tailor-made for another low-scoring battle. Cleveland's divisional games this year leaned heavily toward the under, with a remarkable 33-18-2 record, the highest such rate across Major League Baseball at 64.7%. The rivalry between Detroit and Cleveland has been particularly stingy on the scoreboard as well, with 7 meetings since mid-September producing unders in 5 of those contests. In fact, across their last 11 head-to-head matchups, the two sides combined for 6 runs or fewer on 8 separate occasions, underscoring just how dominant the pitching has been. The Game 2 starters themselves have combined to allow only 6 runs total while striking out 39 batters across 6 previous outings against their current opponent, which makes it clear that both lineups will once again have to grind for every hit and every run. Cleveland, whose offense ranked just 28th in scoring this season, cannot afford to get into a slugfest with a Tigers team that sits in 11th place in scoring output. Their best chance of survival is to neutralize Detroit's bats, and everything points toward another tight pitchers duel that ends below the projected total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Diego Padres versus Chicago Cubs. The San Diego Padres will face the Chicago Cubs on Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley Field in the second game of their wild card series. The Cubs currently hold the upper hand after taking Game 1 by a score of 3-1, a victory that came largely thanks to the steady work of their entire pitching staff. Chicago also benefited from the afternoon shadows that fell across home plate, creating tough hitting conditions for both teams and stifling much of the offense. Those same conditions could once again play a role on Wednesday. To be frank, I remain skeptical about the Cubs' overall pitching strategy in this postseason. It seems unlikely that their approach of piecing things together will hold up over the course of a longer series. The pitching matchup itself raises real questions for both dugouts. San Diego will put their hopes in Dylan Cease, though his performance this year has been well below expectations. While his most recent outings might suggest he has turned a corner, I hesitate to buy into that narrative, especially considering those starts came against Colorado's weak lineup at hitter-friendly Coors Field. Cease continues to struggle with command, issuing far too many free passes and often leaving pitches in locations that get hammered. That combination has led to plenty of hard contact, and in October baseball, the margin for error is razor thin. If Cease finds himself in early trouble, the Padres may have little choice but to pull him quickly and turn to their bullpen. For Chicago, the plan looks unconventional. Andrew Kittredge is expected to open, with Shota Imanaga following to handle the bulk of the innings. Imanaga has been inconsistent lately, giving up loud contact in recent weeks, but his assignment might not require him to go deep. If he can survive 3 to 4 innings and navigate San Diego's lineup once, especially with its heavy left-handed presence, that could be enough to tilt things in Chicago's favor. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Cubs money line is our full game side pick. Statistically, the concerns with Cease are hard to ignore. His road earned run average sits at 5.58, and in 26 of his 32 starts this season, he has allowed at least 4 hits, meaning traffic on the bases is almost guaranteed when he takes the mound away from home. That creates a constant threat of run production for an opponent like the Cubs. Meanwhile, Chicago's own setup carries risk as well. After the opener, Imanaga is tasked with bridging the middle innings, but he has given up 3 or more runs in 6 consecutive starts, culminating in a brutal regular season finale where he was shelled for 8 earned runs. With both sides showing signs of vulnerability on the mound, and with the Padres playing with urgency in a win-or-go-home scenario, this contest shapes up as a back-and-forth battle where runs are likely to come early and late. Between San Diego's push to speed up the tempo and Chicago's bullpen exposure, everything points toward a game where the scoreboard lights up far more than in the series opener. So our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total, is our full game total pick. Boston Red Sox versus New York Yankees. The regular season has officially come to a close, and the spotlight shifts squarely onto October baseball as the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees renew one of the fiercest rivalries in sports. These two American League East powerhouses will clash again on Wednesday evening in Game 2 of their best-of-3 wild-card series, a matchup that adds yet another chapter to their long and bitter postseason history. With both sides well aware that only one can survive and advance, the intensity at Yankee Stadium promises to be nothing short of electric. Despite Boston's recent dominance in the head-to-head series, the Yankees enter this contest favored in the eyes of many, largely because of their reputation and the postseason pedigree attached to their name. New York will hand the ball to Carlos Rodon, a left-hander who at least brings prior playoff experience, something that Brayan Bello of the Red Sox does not yet have under his belt. Still, experience does not always translate into success. Boston has won 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two rivals, and the managerial edge seems to tilt toward Alex Cora, who has consistently shown an ability to get the most out of his roster in high-stakes environments. Rodon's postseason track record leaves plenty to be desired, as he has surrendered 25 hits and 15 earned runs across just 20.1 playoff innings. Last October was particularly rough for him, when he was tagged for 21 hits and 11 runs in only 17.2 innings. Those numbers are hard to ignore, especially against a Boston team that has shown it knows how to rise to the occasion against its biggest rival. The Red Sox keep finding ways to deliver, and Tuesday's victory only added fuel to their confidence heading into Game 2. As our first pick for this matchup, the Boston Red Sox money line is our full game side pick. When it comes to the total, both clubs enter with profiles that suggest value on the under despite their offensive firepower. For Boston, the 2024 campaign ended with the under hitting in 82 of their 162 regular season contests, along with 4 pushes. The Red Sox lineup ranked 7th in Major League Baseball in scoring, averaging 4.85 runs per outing, with their games producing an overall average of just over 9 runs. Away from Fenway Park, those numbers hardly change, as Boston scored 4.83 9.3 runs per road contest while seeing their games average 9.06 runs. The Yankees, meanwhile, also leaned slightly toward lower totals over the course of the year, with the under cashing in 81 of 162 games. Despite having one of the most potent lineups in baseball, they led the league at 5.24 runs per game. New York offset that with solid pitching and allowed only 4.23 runs per contest, producing an average total of 9.47. At home, the Yankees' scoring dipped slightly to 5.05 runs per game, while giving up just 4, leading to a very similar 9.05 average run total. Bello may not have been in peak form late in the season, but history shows he has stepped up under the lights in the Bronx. On the other side, Rodon has looked steadier at Yankee Stadium than elsewhere, and both managers will not hesitate to turn to their bullpens. All signs point to a tightly contested battle where runs are at a premium. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Cincinnati Reds versus Los Angeles Dodgers. Game 2 of the National League Wild Card Series brings us another clash between the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers, with Tuesday night's opener setting the tone for how dangerous Los Angeles can be. The Dodgers flexed their muscle in Game 1, blasting their way to a 10-5 victory behind an offensive showcase that overwhelmed Reds pitching from start to finish. On Wednesday, Cincinnati will try to bounce back with Zach Littell on the mound, while the Dodgers counter with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the ace who has been nothing short of sensational down the stretch. For Cincinnati, the responsibility falls on Littell, who has been serviceable over the course of the season with a 10-8 record and a 3.81 earned run average. The problem is that his performance faltered when it mattered most down the stretch. In September, Littell logged 25.2 innings, but allowed 20 hits and 14 earned runs, ballooning his earned run average to 4.91 during that span. While those numbers are not catastrophic, they hardly inspire confidence when tasked with silencing a Dodgers offense that has ranked among the best in the majors all year. Los Angeles finished the season 6th in batting average, 7th in hits, and 2nd overall in runs scored, while also leading the league in runs scored at home. Hunter Green found out firsthand in Game 1 just how punishing this lineup can be, and Littell could face a similar fate if he fails to command his pitches early. On the other side, Yamamoto gives the Dodgers a decisive edge. The highly touted Japanese pitcher has been brilliant during September, spinning 27 innings of dominance while allowing only 7 hits and 2 runs for a minuscule earned run average of 0.67. Even more impressive, he has yielded 1 run or fewer in 5 consecutive starts, exactly the kind of form Los Angeles hoped he would discover entering the postseason. His assignment looks favorable as well. He will square off against a Reds lineup that sits just 21st in batting average and 18th in runs scored in road games. Yamamoto already showed he can handle this club earlier in the year when he fired 7 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball against them. With the Dodgers' bat surging and Yamamoto locked in, the combination heavily tilts the matchup in Los Angeles' favor. Cincinnati may boast the more reliable bullpen across the season, but even that advantage has diminished lately as the Dodgers' relief corps has begun to find its rhythm at exactly the right time. Between the mismatch in starting pitching and the firepower of Los Angeles' lineup, the gap between these clubs is hard to ignore. As our first pick for this matchup, the Los Angeles Dodgers money line is our full game side pick. The way Los Angeles tore into Reds pitching on Tuesday only reinforces the expectation of another high-scoring affair. The Dodgers tagged Cincinnati for 10 runs on 13 hits, including 3 home runs, and have now plated 6 or more runs in 5 of their last 7 head-to-head contests with the Reds. While Yamamoto's excellence may limit Cincinnati early, this Reds lineup still packs pop, as evidenced by home runs from Elly De La Cruz and Spencer Steer in Game 1. Littell, meanwhile, has given up 3 or more runs in 4 of his last 6 outings, making him vulnerable against an offense that thrives on punishing mistakes. With Los Angeles' hitters locked in and Cincinnati likely forced into comeback mode, this game is tailor-made for late scoring once bullpens take over. Even with Yamamoto dominating the early innings, the pace of play and offensive matchups suggest the scoreboard will keep moving. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.